Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Women in STEM that is brought to you, of course, by the Alkamba Times. I am your host, as usual, our Kante. Now, every week on this show, I get to sit with incredible Gambian women who are doing extraordinary things in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But more than that, these are women that are using their knowledge and compassion to shape the very systems that actually make our country move forward. Today's episode is a little personal to me and hopefully to you because we are going to talk about something that touches basically every one of us, health. And, not just health in the hospital sense, but health in the human sense, how we think, how we feel, how we take care of ourselves and others. So, our guest today is someone who wears many hats. She is a sixth year medical student at the University of the Gambia School of Medical and Allied Health Sciences. She is also an advocate for women's health and women's mental health and reproductive health as well, and she's also a voice against gender based violence. She is also a content creator who uses her platform to educate and inspire others. So I am so excited really for today's episode. And without wasting much time, please join me in welcoming Hadi Cham. Hadi, thank you so much for joining us today. Today, we're going beyond the white coat to talk about medicine, advocacy, and what it means to truly care. Thank you so much, and welcome to Women in STEM.
Thank you, Miss Awakante. It's indeed a privilege to share this platform with you. But before anything, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah to my fellow Gambians. I hope
Wa
you're
alaikum
doing.
salam wa rahmatullah.
As you rightly mentioned, my name is Hadijam, a six-year medical student in the University of the Gambia School of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences, an advocate for women's health, and of course, against gender-based violence, and also a health content creator. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that introduction. I think would not, I did not do justice. So you introducing yourself to the guests is kind of very refreshing, and it's a very good starting point for us here on the show. Now, Heidi, when you think of medicine, you are a medical student. When you think of medicine, what does it mean to you personally? Is it science? Is it service? Is it something deeper?
Well, that's a wonderful question, but of course, it's subjective. But I can say at the same time, it's something more of passion. It's a calling, like those who watch Good Doctors or the other film, Dr. Bailey, they will tell you medicine is a calling and not a business because of the way it is. Um, Passion has to be there. Is the basic thing. Like you have to love what you're doing. There is no amount of money that can be paid for the service you provide for the nation. If there was a bigger word, then thank you. People will have been using it because these are the moments you will meet individuals in moments that they have lose hope in themselves, lose hope in the system, lose hope in the
Hmm.
environment, and lose hope in sometimes I will not even want to say this, but lose hope even in God, which is not fair enough because at the end of the day, we only treat, but it's God who healed the patient. It's Allah who healed the patient. Our job is to treat and do everything necessary, but at the end of the day, the final say is in His hand. So you meet patient in their lowest point, like they don't even know themselves, they don't trust in anything. These are the moments you will meet patient in their lowest point, like they don't even know themselves, they don't trust in anything. These are the moments you will meet with your patient, and they present with things that is way beyond what you even learn in the class. At
Hmm.
that point, it's about how much you love what you're doing, how much you love humanity, and your ability to just connect with someone you don't know, whom you are not related to, but still want to see him feel good and feel better without being paid even
Hmm.
sometimes. So I would say the basic thing about medicine is about passion and knowing that you are serving humanity, one of the most beloved or the most beloved creation on earth, meeting them in their lowest point and helping them in every way possible. personal without any expectation in return. Yes, that is how I would define medicine.
Indeed, and that is, I love that because for so many people, medicine is about the treatment. To you, it sounds like something greater, something deeper. For me, I always feel that medicine and doctors and nurses have like the most noble job ever because having to save people, somebody's life, knowing that you've touched this person in a way that they will never forget, that you've treated them, that you've made them feel safer and better. There's basically no fulfillment that can really compare to that. And thank you and all other health workers out there for really doing what you do.
You're definitely welcome. I mean, we are still student in the learning process, and there's a lot of things ahead. I mean, I know it's not an easy journey, and of course, as the discussion goes further, maybe we'll come to that. But as I said earlier on, and you also made mention of it, you are meeting people whom you have never ever met before, and the fact that you were able to connect with them, console them, bring hope back to them, because at the end of the day, it is what is holding us here in the world. Like, especially in our generation, it's just a sad generation with pretty pictures, everybody trying to be fine. But when you talk of it's not just about physically being sick, or it's like the absence of disease. And of course, we cannot talk about health without talking about mental health. So when we talk about medicine, people just
Hmm.
focus on healing people physically, but it's way more than that. Mental health, mental support is also important. So as a good doctor or as a medical practitioner, you have to put all those stuff into consideration. Like, you're not just healing the physical injury, but what is beyond those injuries? Like restoring hope in the individual is your primary,
Hmm.
let's say, healing by first intention. Let me use that statement here. So our primary aim is to touch that part of the
Hmm.
wound that nobody sees, because often the time people come with trauma injuries, which is visible, by the way, for many people, even the non-health practitioners. But that loss of hope, which is in your patient,
Hmm.
the lack of confidence, the lack of confidentiality, the lack of safe space, all these things are things that we should put into consideration while trying to heal the individual, because many people will come with the mentality that I cannot be healed again, I'm dead, I'm going to die, I have lose hope in this life. So you have to work on their mental health first before anything. Like, to me, that's what I will consider a good doctor, being able to study your patient, having that psychological qualities that you will look at someone and know that they are not fine. They need somewhere safe, somebody whom will listen to their problems without being judgmental. And of course, having that confidentiality in you is very important. So it's a rewarding feel if you practice it with fear of the Lord, and without less expectation when it comes to the financial aspect, because the jobs we do are tedious, and of course the jobs we do are tedious. And of course, looking at our system, many will tell you we are not paying the doctors as we are supposed to, which is not fair to me. But at the same time, I would love to say that this is a calling and it's a service that only the Lord can pay you for it.
Hmm.
So let's prepare it like that in our heads. Like, we are working for humanity, we are helping people out to see the best in life and to restore hope in them after a very, very painful event or sometimes traumas.
Indeed, definitely not an easy job putting yourself out there. I feel like medicine also comes with a lot of exposure. You are exposed to a lot of different things that you might not even be prepared for sometimes. Just putting yourself out there is something really commendable. Now, Adi, tell us a bit about your journey, about your story. How did you find yourself here studying medicine and becoming such a strong voice in women's health? Just take us through your journey, really. Maybe like an overview of how it all started to where you are right now.
Okay, thank you for that amazing question. Anyways, I'll say it's just a little girl born in Bunumbohol, which her family's mom, dad. I came from an extended family, by the way. And
Mm-hmm.
before anything, I would love to thank my parents who brought me up and put a lot of things, almost everything, every good character in me, especially my father. I know this will be surprising because I'm someone who is in for women empowerment and everything. That doesn't mean I don't have a good rapport with my mom. But just to tell, like the
Mm-hmm.
concept we have that is the mothers who who are always there for their children. In my case was a bit different. I was really lucky to have both of them, but more close to my dad, of course. And he made me believe that there's nothing I couldn't do. Like the sky was not even the limit. I can remember back in the days when I was in primary school, coming into grade 6. Yeah, if we do exams and I have second position, he'll be like, "You did well. I'm happy for you, and I hope you do better." And he'll be like, "Do you know that the person who has first position has mom and dad, and you also have a mom and dad?" I'll say yes. He say he's a human being, and you also a human being. I'll say yes. But that will sting the in my head because it's just like him telling me that it's not something way too big for you that you cannot attain. It's just that he has parents and you also have parents, but he put in different effort. Maybe if you add some more effort, you could be there. So at an early stage, he already built this mentality in me that everything is possible with hard work, commitment, and dedication. And of course, he championed my education in every way possible by giving me gifts when I pass my exams and listening to me, helping me out in every way possible. And we were so lucky that we have a very structured family where the elder siblings will take care of their younger ones to the extent that sometimes I even forget that I have to ask something from my dad because of the way my siblings were taking care of me. So we have this very good connection in our family. Stepping out from my family to go into school and everything, it was not very smooth at some point because I can remember when I entered the medical school. Prior to that, sir, I can remember having a conversation with my father as to which field I'll be going into. He was somebody who's not forceful, like, this is what you're going to study, this is what you're going to study. There's no conversation, which I think every family member should look up to because at the end of the day, it is the child who's going to study. So if they don't love what they're doing, if the passion is not there, it will be very hard for the child to prosper in that aspect. So my parents were not forceful when it come to me choosing what I want to be in life. So he listened to me and he supported the fact that I wanted to study medicine, and he encouraged me. I can remember him even calling me my doctor at a very early stage. By then, I was not even my doctor at a very early stage. By then, I was not even like in 6 year medical school. I was just maybe in my biomedical school, maybe pre-med. And even if he have bonds
Mm-hmm.
in hand or anything, he'll be like, I'm not taking any medical advice from you guys because you haven't studied medicine. I'm waiting for my doctor to come. So that alone add inspiration to me because I did not want I didn't want to mess up because of the kind of trust he put in me. Sometimes when he buy
Mm-hmm.
medicines from the pharmacy, he will call me and he'll be like, read the note for me. What did he say? What should I avoid and what should I do? So with that preparation, I built so much confidence because I know that the man I look up to trust me. So no matter what happened outside, this is my father. He's my hero. He's the one I look up to, and he learned to trust me so much. So I have to do very well. So my parents played a very crucial role in my upbringing and of course my education. And luckily for me also, we didn't have this gender bias in our family. Like men education are more important than girls' education. In fact, I can say my father concentrated more on his female children than the male. So we didn't have bias like concentrating
Mm-hmm.
more on the male child. He gave us equal opportunities, equal support, and everything we needed when it come to our education and beyond that. So I can say it's more of my family support, though it has challenges, especially when I reached my
Mm-hmm.
biomedicals. My health condition wasn't good. I fell sick. I was in the hospital. and I remember having to do repeat a grade, and it was very stressful. And a lot of things happened, but if there's anything that kept me moving till date, I think again it's my father's support, prayers, and of course believing that the downfall of a man is not the end of his life. So the challenges are there, but what those are the things that make your life interesting, and overcoming them give it a meaning. So don't expect like it's going to be smooth. Being in medicine, in mathematics, in technology, in everything you do. So long as you're in the process, you must face challenges. This is what widen your point of view, enable you to have critical thinking and to view things differently. So in summary, it wasn't easy, but I have my family support, especially my father, and I'm a very tenacious person. Even though I was
Mhm.
falling sick at some point, repeating grade because of my health condition, one thing was for sure is I'm not quitting without this degree. I have to get this degree. So finally, eventually, I was able to step out of that and continue my journey in the medical school. Yeah.
Wow, that is so inspiring. Hadi, thank you so much for sharing that. And I think what you just shared with us is very important because you know the very first support system for anyone, whatever you're studying, whatever really you want to achieve, is the home. And if you have a lot of support at home, we always talk about women empowerment. And you mentioned one thing also that speaks to what I wanted to say. Like, it's not just women that actually empower women. Some women are really actually first empowered, have their first empowerment from men, which sometimes their fathers like you. I admire really your relationship with your dad from what you explained, and I hope that other girls that are watching you here understand that having that support at home is very, very important, very crucial, and really it goes a long way, to such an extent that even when you are not at home, like for me personally, I'm not in the Gambia, but really, all the support that I get back home go a long way in helping me in my studies, in my personal life. Really, they help a lot. So thank you for sharing that. And your journey as well, it has not been easy for you. You mentioned some health problems here and there, but that the fact that you kept pushing and you did not say, okay, I'm facing a lot of problems, I am having a lot of difficulty here, okay, let me maybe go to another field. You could have diverted to any other field that was way easier than medicine. Say, chemistry, biology. I know they are not there. You kept pushing, and that is really inspiring. And it tells the girls and young women that are watching today that they can also do it as long as they stay grounded and strong-willed like you.
I will say our girls are great. Some even have stories way more shaky than mine. So always there will be something. I mean, we all have problems. The difference is how we approach our problems. So
Mhm,
let us not do it as breaking point or a returning point or anything else, but let's view it as something, as a test, as a challenge. If you look at goals, like women in general, we love goals. We love to
mhm,
wear diamonds and goals and shiny stuffs. But if you look at the process of making goals, it's crazy. Like they have to bond them, they have to
mhm.
use hammers on them just to shape them so beautiful, make them so
Exactly.
expensive and elegant. So that's the concept of
Mhm,
challenges. Like you are made to pass through certain tests to reshape you, to redefine you, to make your potentials unstoppable. So at that spot, you will not be able to connect the dots. You'll be like, oh, why me? Why
mhm,
does it happen to me? To tell you the truth, if you sit with someone else, you will at some point forget your own problems because they will tell you things in their life that
mhm.
you'll be like, oh my god, I haven't reached that level. So, but you keep on moving. So these are the things that shape you so much so that when you step out from your comfort zone, like for me personally, I've been telling you of how my dad helped me and everything, but it's not a guarantee that he will be there with you always. these are moments that we cherish, but also we take as an opportunity to learn to be resilient, to learn to stand for ourselves when our comfort zones are no more there with us. I can remember I lost
Mm-hmm.
that in 2023 around March. But if I have just based my life on enjoying the opportunities that he was providing with me, if he's no
Mm-hmm.
more there, I'll not be able to push. So in every situation you
Mm-hmm.
are, take the opportunities to learn, take the opportunities to grow, learn how to survive and learn
Mm-hmm.
how to thrive. It's important because people will not be there for you always. So listen to what they are saying, put it into practice, and be adaptable to different environments. Like be like a water that fit in any vessel in any format. So it's very, very important. So when I lose my dad and I have to step out a bit from my comfort zone, I have to come to the dormitory stay. But in as much as he's no more here with me, I still remember the lessons that he teach me. That to be confident, to be a go-getter, don't allow anything to come in between you and your studies. Like be patient, be humble, be honest, always tell the truth. These are the things that you carry along with you. You cannot carry the individual who supports you all the time. There's only one person who can do that, that is Allah. Wherever you are, He's always with you. And even for Him too, He will test you. And even for Him too, He will test you. He will test you at some point to the extent that you will be thinking, is He absent? Astaghfirullah. Or is it that He's no more seeing me? Of course, He is seeing you, but He wants you to be strong. He wants you to be bold at the same time, be respectful, and stand for what you want. In that sense, he will also step forward and help you because he doesn't like laziness, he doesn't like excuses. But just to tell you, like being in me or anybody else, we all have issues, we all have struggles. But first, we have to acknowledge that these are problems. We don't have to run away from it. And then from there on, we see, every problem. Just if you really sit and look at it, they're there to teach you something. But sometimes we concentrate more on the pain than the lesson that we are being taught. So sometimes it's just about focusing on the pain of the problem, but focus on the lesson that it is teaching you. In that way, some people after problems see a lot of doors being open, like they're in confined spaces that force them to think critically, that force them to be innovative, that force them to step out from their comfort zone and try new things. And eventually, these are the things that lead to their success. So it's so new that without those problems, you will not see the reality of life. You will not have realized how bold, how innovative, how skill you are as a person. So being it me or anybody else out there, whatever you might be facing, don't take it as a turning point or a breaking point or something that is there to break you. No, it's there to teach you something. Just sit quietly and study the environment. Like, what is this trying to tell me? What am I supposed to unfold about myself? What am I supposed to learn about myself? There must be something that it is trying to guide you towards that you are not paying attention to. That is why it is there. So sometimes it's good to forget about the pain and focus on the growth and how to thrive out of it. Trust me, 99.9% of the time, you will realize something new about yourself that you didn't know that it was in you. So you can utilize that something bigger. Yeah.
Indeed, very, very important that you mentioned, the fact that you don't always have your support systems. You don't always have the people that are around to advise you or keep you on track. I just always, when I talk about this, I take an example from myself. Now that I am not home in the Gambia in the arms of my mom and my dad, like this is something that I relate to a lot because they are not there to wake me up to go to school. They are not there to do a lot of things for me that they've been doing when I was at home. So I learned to actually adapt and get used to the fact that although I can call and talk to them, but it's not the same as being physically present, and it's crazy. But you get used to it. You really get used to it, especially if you at the from the start you put it at the back of your mind that they are not always going to be around, that you at some point you have to learn to actually do things on your own, to be independent and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really important that you shared that with us. Now, Heidi, you were not just a medical student. You are also an advocate. Women's health advocate. What made you start speaking about women's mental and reproductive health?
Okay. That's a question that I would love to answer a lot because just to start with, I can remember watching a YouTube video about this debate on controversial topics and everything, and I had one of the speakers say that a nation cannot go higher than its women are going. Like a nation cannot go higher or above its women. It means if you want to measure
Mm-hmm.
how high a nation is or how developed a nation is, look at its women. So to me, that seems right in my head, and I have to sit and think about it because women consist like the greater number of the population, yet sometimes we kind of sideline them in many aspects. I know many people are out there talking about women empowerment and everything, but since I'm a medical student, I think I will fit best when it comes to health and reproductive issues because these are things that we encounter in our daily
Mm-hmm.
basis, especially in the hospitals. You will see patients coming, the challenges that they will face. So, in as much as I want to empower women, I'm an African. I'm born in the Gambia, and we have cultures, we have norms, we have values. So I will not be like the others who will just say that we
Mm-hmm.
have to kick out our cultures from our countries, or our countries, or we do not have to follow our culture. Some cultures are good, some cultures are good,
Mm-hmm.
others are not because they are causing more harm than good, and we have to sit down and look at them. So if you look at our country, our current situation, we have a lot of teenage pregnancies, we have a lot of cervical cancers, we have a lot of breast cancers, we have a lot of
Mm-hmm.
diseases that are affecting our women. And the sad part is most of these things happening are preventable. Like if there was proper communication, more of awareness campaign and everything, you will realize that these are problems that are preventable. But most of the time, it's because the people involved do not have the proper information, or sometimes before they know it's too late, or
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they'll even know it, but they will not want to talk about it because of the way our culture molds us. They will not want to talk about sexual health. They will
Mm-hmm.
not want to talk about reproductive health. And we are human beings. We grow up, especially girls. We do see changes in our bodies that we do not understand at some point, and we need someone whom we can talk to without him or her judging us. I will say in this context, her, because most of these conversations we have it with our mothers or our aunties, and not all of them because sometimes they make it so narrow to the extent that the girl child will not understand what you are trying to say. Let's say, for example, if someone started seeing her menstrues, some of the time I would say my main problem is not even the upper areas because we have more schools here. The girl child go out and have friends and interact. But when it comes to the rural areas, it's not the same. So I think my concern is more around that area than on the
Mm-hmm.
urban cities. And the urban cities. So you will see that like they will not have that space where they can talk about reproductive health or menstruation or anything. So I think my concern is more around that area that
Okay. I think we lost Hadi there for a while. I want to believe that she is struggling with internet issues, but we have her here on Women in STEM today talking about women in STEM and advocacy. Hadi is a medical student, a 60-year medical student at the University of the Gambia. She is a women's mental and reproductive health advocate. And before we lost her, she was talking about, what actually made her speak about women's health as well as reproductive health. She was talking about how we need more women talking about these things, because these are topics that women, we don't really talk about. People shy away from topics like this. When, for example, when a girl is seeing her period for the first time, obviously she wants to speak to a woman. She wants to speak to somebody who understands her. And unfortunately, sometimes our culture, sometimes it's just a little bit very conservative when it comes to things like this, like talking about reproduction and talking about even mental health. When you say, sometimes when you say, okay, you are depressed, when you hear somebody say talking about depression, you are like, okay, people judge a lot. And we need people like her who are actually have a lot of experience and knowledge about these health issues to actually walk us through things like this, because they are real. Mental health is real, reproduction is real. But when we shy away from them, when we don't talk about them, then it becomes a problem. And we thank Hadi for how for what she's been doing around topics like this. She's also a content creator. She creates content around issues like this to share with her audience, to inspire them, to actually educate them. It's quite um incredible what she is doing. Unfortunately, we lost her. We still do not have her back. But like I said, today we are going beyond the white coat to talk about medicine and advocacy, which happen to be areas that our guest Hattie is well grounded in. I am hoping that we have her very soon, because she's the one that she is the medical expert. She is the one that actually can talk about a lot of these things. I am a tech student. I cannot talk a lot when it comes to medicine and stuff like that. But let me just say that this is Women in STEM, and every week, every Sunday, I sit with women like her, women in technology, women in science, women in engineering, to talk about women in these areas, how women are doing, how incredible women are doing in areas like this, and how much we need them. Before she left, Hadi was talking about how important it is for women to be in medicine, because okay, if you are sick as a woman, there are certain things that you want to discuss with only women, because only women can actually understand you when you talk about these things, what you're going through, because they themselves are going through it. And when you talk to them about it, you feel safer. For me personally, if I go to a hospital and there are certain things that I have to explain to a man, then it really will be a problem, because I am one thing. The first problem is that I am not even going to be able to explain it as much as I would want to. Like, I will not be comfortable explaining certain things. I will not get into details, and then that becomes a problem for the other person to even understand or diagnose me, or tell me what exactly is happening to me. So these barriers are really why we need women in medicine. Really, I hope that Hadi joins us back. Okay, Hadi is back. Thank you for
Sorry,
joining me.
sorry.
Really,
I
for
guess
coming
there
back.
was having issues.
I understand, and that's okay. Unfortunately, I was blabbing here. I do not even know what I was saying, because this is medicine. I'm not I am
Okay,
not an
okay.
expert in medicine. So thank you for saving me. Thank you for coming back. Really, I was praying silently that you come back as soon as possible. But anyway, yeah. Before you left, you were talking about what made you speak about women's mental and reproductive health.
Yes, so as I was saying, sorry about that though, my connection was giving me some hard. So
That's
as
okay.
I was saying, even yeah, even if they have these questions like women in general. They do not have a safe space to talk about the issues that are affecting their health, especially when
Mhm.
it comes to their mental health and sexual and reproductive health. Most of
Mhm.
the times, we live in a society that once you raise this issue, people start viewing you differently. I hope society can change that. I hope she is still a virgin. How come she knows about all these things? And there are certain changes that you see in your body that you do not know. You have, changes. You have physical changes in your body. It is so necessary that you understand your body, and most of the time,
Mhm.
we take advantage of it, and we do it by
It looks like we've lost Hadi again, and really, internet is not doing very well for us today. It's not. Viewers, I really apologize for that. Unfortunately, our guest is struggling with internet connection today, and it's really not doing us good. Um, I really hope that she joins back pretty soon.
hello.
Hi, Hadi. Welcome back. Hello. Okay, I think we lost her there again. Please, whoever is controlling internet in the Gambia, the systems and everything, please just okay. I hope you're back for good now, Hadi. Hello, Hadi, are you there? Hello, hello, Hadi, can you hear me? Because I can actually see your video, but you are not speaking. I'm not sure if this is still the internet connection that is the problem. Okay, while waiting for Hadi, like I said earlier, today I am talking with her about women in medicine and advocacy. Hadi is a 6th-year medical student at the University of the Gambia, and she is also a women's health advocate. Earlier, she told us about her journey and how it was really supported by her parents, her family, coming from an extended family. I feel like it has its advantages because you have a lot of people, you have people to look up to, you have a really huge support system. She told us about how supportive her dad was. Unfortunately, she lost her in 2023, if I get that right. But she remembered how supportive she was, how she would always how he would always encourage her to do well in school. And even if she does not do well, come second or third, he'll be like, okay, you did well. Um, Next time you can do better. You can even take first position and all of that. I kind of that really stayed with me because um it's really important for girls, especially, to have a support system that they can fall back on. Okay, I think Hadi is back now.
Sorry again. Sorry.
I
The
see
network
your
was not
internet
great,
connection is
so
really,
I have
really,
to
really,
move
really,
from
really
there to
disturbing
here.
us.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Sorry
okay.
about.
I think I'll just go straight to my next question, and that is going to be about the challenges that you face. Being a woman in a field like medicine can be very, I would not say intimidating, but anyway, I'll let you use the adjective you want to use to describe it. But I want to believe that it comes with a lot of challenges. So, what is that one biggest challenge that you face being a woman in this field? Not just in medicine, but in advocacy. And how did you overcome it?
Okay, I think one of the biggest challenges that we are facing now as being in medical student or in the advocacy aspect is our cultures. Like I'm not somebody who's anti-culture believe or who does not believe in culture at all. As I said
Mm-hmm.
earlier, there are good aspects of culture that we should cherish and maintain or even improve on. But there are certain part of
Mm-hmm.
it that we should look into because it affects our mental health, affects the well-being of the individual. So starting with medicine, I would say because it's a long journey, of course. Aside from the studies, the long nights, and the early mornings, being a woman at some point, again, the society and culture, they would believe like after 18, 20 years, you should get married. And many medical students will find it hard to balance it, So though we have incredible individuals who have been doing it, like being married at the same time, handling medical school, having their own children, but not everybody can do it because we respond to stress differently. The way you respond to stress is not the same as someone else way of responding to stress. And of course, your society will be like, she's 20 years old, she's 25 years old, she's more than 25, she's still not married. So there's this kind of pressure that they will be putting on you as if they'll be the one organizing you, reading or paying your dad for you. So you still have to be grounded and know your purpose, like focus on what you want. After all, just because your friends are married doesn't mean that you also have to get married. This is a long time, I mean a lifelong commitment. Just because society is telling you to do it doesn't mean that you have to do it. So even if you are not in the medical sector, like wait for your timing, wait for everything that you have to wait for before just entering, just because society is telling you that your age now you have to get married. So I think that's one of the challenges that we do
Mm-hmm.
face, like in the society, them giving you time frame for everything. Like this is the time you should get married, this is the time you should have your children. This is what you're supposed to do at this age, which is a bit challenging. But if you know yourself and you know why you are not into that, because people have different reasons why they are not getting married. So, but in our case, they seem to generalize it that it's because of their studies that they are not able to get married. When it comes to the advocacy aspect and everything, I would still say culture. Because if we are talking about gender based violence, let's say an instance of rape case and everything, you will see families who will be able to who go up and down just to protect the people that they love, forgetting that the victim is also part of the family and they are supposed to love and respect her. But they will not want you to break the culture of silence. They will be like, it's the same family. If you talk about it, the family will be having issues. There will be grudges over here and there, forgetting that the victim also deserves justice. They want to be heard, they want to be seen, they want to feel protected and loved. So that is also another challenge that we are facing when it comes to the
Mm-hmm.
gender based violence advocacy aspect. aspect. And when it comes to health aspect, again, it's still our cultural beliefs and everything, because as I said, they will tend to view you differently when you start once you start talking about these sensitive topics like sexual and reproductive health, especially in a child who's not in a girl child who's not married yet. They will be like, how come you know all these things? Like, what are you even asking? What questions are you even asking? And I think they deserve to know, because if they know, they will know what to do and what to not to do, and they will not be fooled outside. So they deserve to understand their bodies. They deserve to know what to expect. They deserve to know when to say no and what could cause them harm. But the culture is molded in such a way that, sometimes I just think they tend to run away from their responsibilities, because even if we talk about culture, the real cultural practices is where if a child starts seeing her period, her mom sit her down and tell her what she is and she's not supposed to do, how to take care of herself, how to stay clean, how to stay fresh and everything. Once you're about to get married, or let's say a week before you're married, we normally have what we call ndele in Wolof. I don't know how other languages will call it, ndele and baile. So the purpose of this, from my own research, was not just for worldly things, buying materials for the bride and everything, but for her to sit you down and talk to you about marriage, and talk to you about marriage, and talk to you how to take care of yourself, and talk to you what are the expectations from you, how to protect yourself, how to protect your children, having conversation about these sensitive topics like your first period, what to do, what not to do, how to take care of your sexual and reproductive health. This is where the reasons why this
Mm,
this ndele were here before, but now I've molded, redefined everything about ndele and baile, making it a form of fashion or worldly things. What are you going to buy for the bride to show off and things like that? But
mm,
its main purpose was to educate the individual, especially when it comes to sexual and reproductive health behaviors. So some cultures are healthy, but now the way we put things is based on our own interests, our own point of view, our own emotions and sensitivities, which are not really necessary or important when it comes to the development of the individual for him or herself.
indeed. Now, honey, we know medicine can be very exhausting. The long hours, the hospital, it can be exhausting, stressful, and all of that. Now, what do you do to stay grounded? I ask this for maybe girls and young women who are watching you right now who want to get into medicine, but for some reason they are scared ahead of the long hours, how exhausting it can be. What do you do to stay grounded, to protect your own mental health while caring for others?
Okay, that's an important question. To begin with, like, nothing is easy in this life. Let's understand it that way. Oh, let me say, nothing
Mhm,
good is easy in this life. Nothing good is easy.
mhm,
So I think one of the things that keep me really motivated and fresh and everything is my daily zikrs, because I love doing zikrs and everything. Though sometimes I have mental health challenges like other person, like other individuals, but I love doing my daily zikrs, and it gives me tranquility and peace and that calmness that I'll be able to sit and reflect about my environment, my personal growth and everything. So I think, aside from Allah's help, which is the main thing, my zikrs to give me a lot of hope, tranquility and peace in everything I do. And as I said earlier, it's a tedious journey, but it's important that the passion is there, because no matter how tedious it is, when you do it because you love what you are doing, it will not be the same as someone who's doing it because of something else or other expectations. So no matter how hard the day is, no matter how
mhm,
tiring or rough it is, the fact that you remember that you touch a life today, you make someone feel better, you restore hope in one way or the other, you make someone feel connected and loved and respected again. That alone is rewarding, so much so that it sometimes subsides the tired and the pain that you are feeling during your shift. So the passion is important. Once it is in you, it helps you in different aspect, because once you get home, you kind of have these images left in your head, like, I encountered this individual today, the way I met with him, and by the time he or she was going home, the way he or she is feeling, that alone is rewarding. Even though we are not the mastermind behind it, as I say, always to treat, but it is God who heals the patient.
Mm-hmm.
But still now there is some aspect, some degree of weakness that you feel in you that makes you forget anything else, no matter how hard the shift was. So I also enjoy doing what I'm doing right now, like creating awareness, sharing what I learn, and things like that. These are things also that keep me moving and motivate me and help me forget a lot of things that were supposed to be hard in my aspect. So passion is the number one thing, and of course, have a strong rapport with your Lord. There are days that nothing can save you other than Him. Of course, in all days, but when I say that, I mean those dark moments that you feel like giving up. So as I do say, you can lose everybody,
Mm-hmm.
but don't lose God, don't lose Allah. So always stay connected with Him, and that will give you a really real tranquility in your life.
Right. Thank you for sharing that with us. And if you're a girl or a young woman who kind has this passion to go into medicine, well, you just had it from Hadi, to stay grounded, to be as passionate as you can about what you do. I think that actually applies on basically everything, because if you're doing something and you're not passionate about it, when the hard days come, you tend to want to give up and all that. But yeah, and also something you said that is very important. You were able to find something that you like to do, maybe when you're burnt out or when you're exhausted, something just to do to take your mind off things. I think everybody needs to find that thing for themselves. Whatever you are doing, if you can find something that you can distract yourself with, or they have a go-to something that you do when you are burnt out from work or from studies. That is really really important, because like you said, not everything, nothing is easy, nothing just medicine. Okay, today we are talking about medicine, but whatever good you do, and if you want to really succeed in anything whatsoever, it definitely does not come easy. Now, Hadi, let's talk about the system itself. Do you think that the Gambia's healthcare sector gives enough space for women like you to lead, to basically bring your voices forward?
Okay, I would say they are not doing bad, though improvements can be made, because currently the head of the nursing department is a female whom I look up to. We
Mhm.
have female leading some departments in the hospital, like Dr. Hadiba, who's also in the microbiology unit. We have the head of nursing, as I said earlier on. These are just to name few of them. Even though I think we can do better as women, we can do better as a nation, we can do better when it comes to the system of the health system of our country in general. But just
Mhm.
yesterday, I
Mhm.
attended a seminar at Carnifin, which was on human rights, and of course, at the end, they have a panel of discussion with intellects who were talking about women empowerment and everything else. But my point of view in this, even though we are talking about health in specific, I think what we need to do, or what we need to inform our women is, when we talk about women empowerment, it's not just leading a particular position. We are all leaders at any
Mhm.
point of our life. We are leaders in our families, we are leaders in our job places. But most of the time, we tend to narrow it down to allowing women to lead as president or vice president or leader of an organization, which is fine by me, which is fine. But let's look for solutions that are sustainable and that are way broader than what we already have. Because we have a lot of women in our country, and not all of them
Mhm.
can lead. Not all of them can be president or vice president. So we have to come up with
Mhm.
solutions that are sustainable, that are tangible. First and foremost, which is to make them believe in themselves. They have to believe in themselves that whatever they are doing, let them not belittle it. The one selling in the market should believe that this business that I'm doing can take me somewhere. Like have have that mentality, because not all of them can sit in the offices, not all of them can enter politics, not all of them can be doctors. But we can make them believe in whatever they are having right
Mhm.
now, that they can turn it into something more beneficial, something more professional, and something more branded. Because even when when we were having that conversation, I told them that I'm not an anti-culture because I believe some cultural practices are good. Let's say if we say that women are only cooking, washing, and cleaning, which by the way are basic life skills. Both men and women are supposed to know how to cook, how to clean, because at
Mhm.
some point of your life you have to take care of yourself. There's nobody who's going to do it for you, especially
Mhm.
when you are in certain environments. But then also, let's not see cooking as something cheap, something that nobody can be successful from cooking. Because when you look at, I don't know her name, but she's a Nigerian. She did a marathon in cooking, branded herself so well that everybody was looking up to her and have her own restaurant, created opportunities. So no job is too small. Let the woman believe that even if she choose to cook, let her not cook just because she want to feed the family or society is telling her to cook. But if she love to cook, help her in that cooking system. Like
Mhm.
make her herself believe in it that this thing can be something bigger than just cooking for the family or feeding the children. Like if she really want to be a cook, that is to say, if she choose to be a cook, not the society forcing her or putting her in that situation. But once she choose something, let's empower everything. It's not like every woman is going to sit in views. Let's assume that even if we try, it's not possible that every woman is going to sit in a view. So we have to teach women to believe in themselves. If they want to be entrepreneurs, no matter what they are selling, they have to believe that this is my business, this is going to work. There are the most innovative individuals on earth.
Mhm.
Once they have that confidence in themselves and they know the way forward, they can bring up anything that you and I are not even thinking of. So let's just not narrow down things to bureaucrat or being wearing cos or wearing suits, going to offices. You can sit at home and create business. You can be anywhere and bring out something which is solving problems in the society. And I think the basic of all this conversation is for societal development, individual development, and the nation at large.
Mhm.
So every aspect of it is important. Every skill is worth it. Every talent is worth nurturing, not just academically or any other thing, but whatever the women love to do, don't belittle it. Let's just not focus on politics or having high ranking jobs, or as a society would tell it. I want some solutions that are tangible that everybody can get access to, and that can only happen if each and every one of us believe in their passion, in their talents, in their skills, and try to nurture
Mhm.
them rather than focusing on leading one cause or leading an organization or being part of politics. So I think in general, we should try to decentralize this whole idea of development and give equal opportunities for the single women and the woman who's an academician, because I think at the end of the day,
Mhm.
they are all contributing to the development of the country. So that's how I want things, or if I am given the opportunity, that's how I want to echo or champion women empowerment in our country.
Indeed, and I think that is very powerful. In essence, women do not have to sit around and wait for someone to empower them or for someone to create a space for them to excel. Basically, every woman has something that they want to do. Every woman has something that they are good at. So, like you said, if everybody sees that one thing as something that can change their life or basically give them some meaning, something to do and be proud of. I think that is very important. And like you said, we don't have to really centralize development. I think development really come from within ourselves, with individuals, because it is those individuals that come together and make up a nation that we call national development. I don't think without in personal development there's going to be anything like national development, because it's all these individual persons that actually come together to make up a nation. So, like you said, it starts from personal development, everybody doing what they can to contribute to themselves first before thinking about contributing to the nation. Now, I want to talk about something important. Unfortunately, I don't think I did not have a medical personnel in October for an episode, so I am going to steal some hours from October, although we are in November today, to talk about Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Um, as someone who's deeply passionate about women's health, what does Breast Cancer Awareness Month really mean to you personally?
Okay, that's a wonderful question. As you said, even though we have entered November, but I think we can still talk about breast cancer because one of the misconceptions people have is we should only talk about breast cancer when it is October, which is the month that is dedicated to breast cancer awareness. But this disease doesn't know any month. I mean, people are dying from it throughout the year, being it January, February, down to December. So it's important to talk about it anytime we have the opportunity to do so because it is killing our young women, it is killing the older women, it is making husbands lose their wives, family lose their loved ones. And as I said when I was talking about creating awareness, all these diseases that are affecting the women are diseases that are preventable. Some of them are preventable, and some of them, even if we cannot prevent them, if we are able to catch the diseases early, they are treatable. Because most of the time it's due to lack of awareness that we face all these complications. So breast cancer, as we all know, it is one of the most prominent cancers in the country. I think the second leading cancer, cancer like the second leading cancer in the country apart from cervical cancer, which is also high up there and is affecting the women, of course. So that being the case, I think it is very necessary that we create awareness as much as possible because most of the time studies have shown that before patients come to the hospital, they will have a delay of 3 to 4 months 3 to 4 months delay. And as I said earlier on, if we catch the disease early, it is treatable. But once it has reached a very, very advanced stage, we cannot do anything other than palliative care. And you know that these are things that might be, if they have known about it or they have the access to get the correct information about how to go with it as a patient, they will not have faced these challenges. And of course, also even if they get the right information, one of the challenges that they also face is the cost of the medication. And we are made to understand that not all the medications are even available in the country. Some of them we have to buy it from Senegal, which is another challenge that the women in the country are facing. So I think it's a
Mhm.
multidisciplinary approach in as much as the healthcare professionals who do a better job in creating awareness, but government also should try to champion women's empowerment by helping in this medication. Of course, they're expensive. If there's any way they can subsidize it or make it free for them, and of course, champion more awareness campaigns, especially in the rural areas. Because for me, those areas have my concerns. Even though we have Gambian women in the urban centers, but I feel like the way these people have the privilege to get certain resources, those in the rural areas do not have those privileges. Because even when it comes to the screening of breast cancer,
Mhm.
if you look at research, it is like those in the urban areas do go for screening more frequently than those in the rural areas. And at the end of the day, they are all Gambian women.
Mhm.
They are equal rights and opportunities. Equal rights for health and everything. So I think governments will also look at those things to help them get the right information and the right time, help them get treated when they are sick. So breast cancer in general is something that is becoming more alarming in our society, and people should go and get themselves screened at all times. It is sad that we live in a society that only visit the hospital when they are sick, which is very sad because sometimes certain things
Mhm.
can be going on in your body and it's a gradual process. And if you do not visit the healthcare facilities before you find out, it's too late and there's nothing you can do about it, unfortunately.
Exactly. And in fact, that brings me to my next question because I feel like another problem to this is the fact that a lot of girls don't have awareness about breast health, how to take care of their breasts, how to actually know that something is wrong with their breasts. Because, with breast cancer, for me, I think sometimes it's difficult to know, to go to the hospital, in fact, because when you're just sitting, nothing is wrong with you. You don't feel like something is wrong with you. You don't want to go to the hospital, but just that move takes me to my next question. How do you think that young women, even before reaching a certain age, that is, we obviously have a particular age bracket that are more prone to breast cancer. So how do you think, even before reaching that age, that they can start building awareness on their breasts and breast health? What should we be teaching in schools and in our communities about breast health?
I didn't get the last part. Can you please repeat it?
Sorry.
I didn't get the last part. Can you please repeat your question?
Oh, sorry. My question is around how women can actually start building awareness on their own about breast health. What should we be teaching in schools and in communities about the health of our breasts as women?
Okay, okay. I get it now. Okay, I think it's very important that we start to introduce all these health health related topics in our schools. Though they are doing a good job, but I think they can improve on it way better, especially when comes to sexual and reproductive health. Because, as I said, we
Mhm,
live in a society that they tend to shy away from these topics, especially in our family levels. They will tell you, but just the surface of it. But what happened deep, they will not want to talk about it. Maybe due to sadness, or I don't know what their specific reasons are. So I think the school system can do a better job by introducing these topics in their syllabus, like sexual and reproductive health, in order to prevent mishaps that do happen in the younger generation, by telling them what to expect from their bodies, especially at pubertal stage. What are the changes that occurs, the hormonal and the physical changes, and how to approach them, what to do, what not to do, how to stay safe, how to stay abstinence, what are the benefits of it, and what are the risks factors to contact a particular diseases in general. So I think the school system can do a better job by introducing these topics in their syllabus. So I think the school system can do a better job because if we are only rely on the family, we both know that they do not have the proper conversation, or 99.9% of families do not sit their children and tell them the realities of adolescence. They just focus on make sure you are not pregnant, stuff like that. You are supposed to maintain your virginity
mhm,
till marriage, which are very important because I'm a Damian and I cherish those cultures. But there are way more to that, like teaching the child how to prevent certain things, how to avoid certain things, and building those values and norms in her are equally important. And having a clear conversation to minimize the curiosity of young children, because most of the things we embark on, they embark on it because of curiousness. They want to know what is the benefit of it and what are the risks factors to contact a particular disease in general. So I think the school system can do a better job by introducing these topics in their syllabus,
okay, looks like we've lost Hadi again. Unfortunately, in fact, that has had to we had to steal a little bit of time from and add it to our 1 hour, because the show runs for 1 hour. But today we've had a lot of distractions and we started a bit late. So we are going to steal a few minutes to just wrap up. I think Hadi is back. Before we lost her, we were talking about breast cancer. Although it's not October, but like Hadi said, breast cancer is not discriminate. It's not discriminately just related to October. Although some of us hear it only in October, the awareness raising, the screenings and everything, people talking about it. But like she said, people die of breast cancer all throughout the year. So it's not, we do not just have to stop talking about it once it's end of October. We keep talking about it because it's something that lives on even after October. So I think this is a pretty good time to talk about it, since I have a medical student as a guest on this show today. I have not had a medical expert or student or any somebody from medicine in a while on this show. So I think this is quite a good opportunity for us to talk about breast cancer. She was talking about how people in the rural areas hardly have resources to actually protect themselves, or basically just information about breast cancer, how to know if they have breast cancer, how to see some of those signs. And I think it's sad because unfortunately, rural and urban Gambia are kind of it's like they're from completely different worlds. Although there are improvements, but when it comes to proximity to resources, to information, it's there's a huge gap. A lot of people in the rural areas hardly have any access to some of these things, and I think we can do better. We can really do better to break that gap. And okay, Hadi is still not here. I believe if she does not come back in a few minutes, I'm going to have to wrap up and end the episode already, because we have consumed more than 1 hour. Unfortunately, the Hadi's internet has not done us justice at all today, and I am going to have to wrap up without her and just end this episode. This was Women in STEM with Hadi Cham. She is a medical student. She is a women's health advocate, and when you look at her story, it kind of reminds us that science is not just about discoveries; it's about humanity. She At the beginning of the show, she talked about how fulfilling it is to be, a student of medicine, helping people, getting them better, and then just the value in just seeing that someone is better than you found them as is quite un- it's quite fulfilling, right? And on today's episode, I personally I learned a lot, and I hope that you learned a lot as well. And then she also showed us that healing is not just found in hospitals. It's also about how we speak up for others, like she does. She's an advocate. She creates content as well to create awareness about mental health, about reproductive health. It's in how we educate. It's found in fact how we care. We've seen that women in medicine are not just part of the system, they are basically transforming it. And it's about young Gambian women basically daring to step into spaces that need their compassion, their intelligence, and their voice. We've seen how she talked about how much women are needed in medicine, because when women go to the hospital, sometimes, especially things like reproductive health and mental health, they want to talk to other women about it, other women who understand them, other women who go through what they go through. And this is why it's important to have women in sectors like this. And it's not just in medicine, it the same thing applies in science, in technology, in engineering, even in mathematics. We need women in sectors like this. Now, I am our Kante, and Thank you so much for watching today. And remember, wherever you are, whatever you do, if you are a woman, make sure you use your knowledge to make someone's life a little better. That is where real changes begin. And I hope that you join me next weekend, same time on Sunday. Thank you so much for joining me today and have a wonderful evening.